All right, guys. Welcome to Texas Gulf Surfer, episode number 23.
Wow, man. Episode 23. Welcome to the show, man. All about surfing and Texas surfing, my favorite state. My name is Jeff DiNicola. I am your Texas Surf Ambassador. How about that? Man, let me introduce my co-host. Let me see what I got. He is the reason that this show has a warning label. King of Surfside, Austin Campbell, everybody.
Thanks, Jeff.
Don't irritate him. Don't poke the bear. Don't agitate the guy, man.
Watch out. We'll be all right.
Watch out.
So, anyways, yeah, man,
What's up, bro?
we're back in the studio. We had a little week off. We went on a little adventure.
We went on an adventure.
Another little fishing adventure, and we caught something.
Yes,
That's
we
for
did.
sure.
We caught a big fish, man.
Yeah,
Austin
yeah,
caught the big fish of the day.
about a mile-long fish,
Kind of
so-
cryptic, but
Yeah. Anyways, it was pretty nice. So
somewhere in Galveston Bay, Austin caught the biggest fish. It's cryptic. You got to know what we're talking
it was
about.
pretty nice. So, anyways, yeah, we've been having no surf at all.
Dude,
so
it is.
not anything to talk about surfing wise at the beach, anyways.
No, my bro, man, I went up and down the coast and hardly anyone wants to talk to me. They're all like grumpy and depressed, man. The Gaines Burns down in South Padre Island says, man, the island's on fire, tourists, not much surf. They're looking maybe for a 1 to 2 foot thing happening. Are we going to get a 1 to 2 foot thing happening here ever?
So, I mean, I guess we could just start off right away with the surf report.
Please, man. Give me
'cause
something to hope for. Man.
It looks like that Thursday, Friday, I don't know, maybe Saturday. Looks like Thursday, Friday there might be a little bump, and when I say
Really?
little bump, like we're talking like maybe it might get close to 2 foot. So maybe shin to knee high, But I think at this point we probably would take shin to knee high, right?
Yeah.
You get your 10 foot board out, maybe if you got a psycho flying saucer or something like that.
There you go, with
10
plenty of
foot.
volume.
And but yeah, it looks like there's going to be some surf. It does look like the next week after that, the 10th through the 13th, it looks like, I mean, who knows how accurate it is, but they're showing like a small little
I saw that, a green bump.
tiny bump, and then farther down it looks like the 18th and 19th. I don't know if that's just something going on there that they're showing that there might be some surf. More than likely, it's probably going to be epic because I think that's when we're taking our daughter to college.
Of course. You
So,
leave town, it'll get good.
Yeah. So for sure, you can pencil that in. There'll be definitely some good surf.
Don't
then.
worry, I'll cut off Johnny McGee for you, Johnny
Yeah,
Rescue.
Yeah, make sure you get them. So, but anyways, I think it's probably real similar down the rest of the coast. There's been, I would
Yeah,
say, it looks
not
like
much,
I've seen some guys catching some like knee slappers down at towards like Corpus and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
So maybe they've had a little bit more. Here, it's been flat.
Big
I
time,
mean,
like
I
a
had-
lake. It's so beautiful though.
Yeah.
Smooth like a lake. Man.
We've been canceling surf lessons that were for like even like
Yeah.
anybody. It's
Not
just
even-
there's
yeah,
nothing.
Not even big enough for that.
So
yeah.
anything going on up and down the coast?
Not really, man. I mean, what everyone's telling me, it's just small, flat. It's tourist season. It's super hot. The way I always look at it is, we got to suffer through August. We kind of got a little spoiled in June because we had some sneaker swelling for
June was a pretty good June.
Yeah, and it got us to believe in
Chuck
the tooth fairy again.
Chuck told me that the surf used to be still good in June. It'd stick out, it'd hang around,
Well, he's
Chuck's always right,
Yes, he's the master of wisdom when
Yeah.
it comes to surf. But we kind of got spoiled, and we started to believe in the summer tooth fairy again. And now we're into July, and July was such a bust. So we get through August, then we get into our consistent times of the year down here. Everybody gets more happier, and man, really, we haven't seen many surfers. I haven't around the island here in Surfside.
No, the only people I've seen really is people coming to buy some, boards or get some stuff. People
Right.
come in and get some
Right.
wax because they're like, well, I'm going to take I think we get real restless and we start like taking all the wax off all our boards and, changing the wax out and
Yeah.
I've been checking my fins. Some people can't, I was thinking about getting some new fins and, but I'll tell you, now's the time
Yes.
to get all that stuff ready when it's flat. You know what I'm saying? When
It's funny. A lot of people are traveling, but a lot of people do exactly what you're talking about. It's a time to get your gear out, put all your boards out and look at them, check fins, leases, strip boards, strip wax, and fix your boards because that's going to be the lead into our topic of the night, which is going to be pretty cool because I'm not super knowledgeable about these topics, and that is board repair and ding repair, which seems to be hot on topic on Facebook right now. So we're going to follow into that lead.
There's some people talking about it. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what people are talking about.
I heard.
I don't know, man.
So yeah,
I'm gonna ask you some questions a little bit about that before we go. Bro.
yeah, I'll be your guest.
You know anything? I do know some things, and I want to ask you some things. We have a kids a Grom roundup. Grom is a word for little surfer, and the Grom roundup is coming to Surfside Wind. Maybe
So,
Shadow
so
is-
what we got cool. The cool thing about the Grom Roundup
Tell me
is
about
it's kind of the main thing is to get new surfers in the water, right? New competitors. You know, and I wouldn't even say like new surfers, but new competitors.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what they're looking for is people who haven't competed in any contest before.
Okay.
You know, the young kids who haven't competed before, and get them familiar with it. That way, when they sign up for the other contest, it's not their first time. So it's kind of just, you know, get out there and learn some
Okay.
stuff. So right now, they already have it set up for Horace Caldwell Pier in Port Aransas, August 23rd,
Okay.
and Surfside Jetty Park, August 24th, and Barry's Beach Bar, South Padre Island, August 30th. And you can sign up on it's surftgsa.org.
Yes. Excellent.
So you know you can sign up there. They're gonna. It's a good thing to get
Does
the
it say
kids.
the age limits there?
The age limits for, let's see if they have an age limit here for the roundup. It says microgroms 8 and under, Minnehoonies 9 to 13, and juniors 14 to 17.
So there you go. Anybody
It's
under
kids.
17.
Yeah, it's kids. You know,
That's really cool. I'm actually a part of it. I'm going to be down there helping out. And Crystal Roth, Matt Roth, the secretary of PGSA,
I'll definitely be out at the
the one here.
here in Surfside. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. So anybody in the other dates up and down the coast, because we have viewers up and down the coast, you can get your kid maybe, they just kind of curious and they've never entered a contest, so they just kind of come down. They can walk you through it. It's a lot of fun. They get a little trophy kind of thing, I believe, at the end. And what a great event just to come down with that and let your kid have an opportunity to do that. So we're looking forward to that. Then, you know, time's passing so quickly, Austin, that the Old Guys Surfer Union.
Yeah,
Tell
it's
us.
coming up not too long because we're having it this year
Yeah.
in October. I actually had a meeting this week. Well, we did a board meeting this week and talked about it. So we're kind of getting ramped up for it. It's in October this year. So the one thing that we kind of always have done is we've always had, like, you know, raising money for Surfside. That's kind of one of the big things about the event. So
Right.
we're going to start getting out there, and you'll start seeing some posts about it and everything. So we're getting everything planned. We're definitely going to have a surfboard raffle.
Okay.
We made a board last year for them for Old Guys Surfer Union, and we're going to do another longboard and do another raffle. So that's, you know, for sure. And there's going to be a lot of raffle items this year.
Awesome. Let me ask you this, because we have viewers out there, new viewers, and maybe viewers that have not participated in the Old Guys Surfer Union. Give me the short story about what it is, how it came about, and what it's really kind of a celebration of, and that kind of thing. So, because the name itself, Old Guys Surfer Union, when you first hear it, man, I thought it was like, golly, man, it's going to be a bunch of old guys, and it's just not that. It is so much more than that.
Yeah. So it originally started was you know, a group of some old guys surfers,
Okay.
right? That were like, hey, let's have a little reunion on the beach, and it kind of started as that. Gosh, it's been, I think we're into like close to a year, like 11 or 12 or something like that.
Okay.
So it was, you know, right around 11 or 12 years ago, something like that, 12, 13 years ago. I think we've missed a year here and there because of some different things, you know.
Really cool, man.
But as it grew and they decided to have it as an event and have it, like, you know, rent. I think the very first one was rent Stallman Park, and everybody kind of got together, and then a few other people kind of got involved with it and decided, well, we should have this, you know, maybe every year.
Right.
So it went to a couple different venues. We had one year we had it at Ocean Village when it was
Okay.
Pirates Alley.
Okay.
And man,
okay.
that was a great time. So it kind of started out as a party. Really, it really did.
Gotcha.
It started out as a party. Everybody get together that hadn't seen some of these people. You know, time had just gotten away from them. They hadn't seen each other in years.
It is true.
And so then they reconnected, and I actually met a bunch of people that I knew maybe when I was a kid, that my dad knew before he
Excellent,
passed
yeah.
away. You know, knew back in the 60s and 70s. So I would say that at some point, there was a few people decided to maybe form a board and make this a 501(c) charitable organization.
It's really grown,
And
too.
so it was, you know, and so they did all the paperwork, and it got, there was a bunch of people that helped out, so I don't want to miss anybody. I would say that it was the founding. You got Al
Yeah.
Brown,
Yeah.
and Mark Muse, Bubba Barnes. All those
Yeah.
guys were out there trying to get it together. Eric Yunkin.
Yep,
He was
yep.
like it was just, and then Barbara Daniels started getting involved.
That's true.
There was a lot of Charlotte was involved. There was a lot of people, and it's funny because I kind of helped out a little bit, and then one day they said, "Hey, can you be on the board?"
They wrangled you in.
And I was like, "Okay, I'll be on the board." And then one day they were like, "Yeah, we're having elections, and we elected you president."
There you go,
And
man.
I didn't even know I was running for president. So anyway, so we've been so now it's been a really big thing. We've kind of grown it, and we've
Okay,
donated a lot of money to
okay.
Surfside. We did the what do you call it? The monument,
That's
and
correct.
we're about to put another surfboard bench at another location in Surfside.
That's great,
So-
man. That
so
is
it's,
great.
you
You
know,
guys have grown leaps
I'd
and
say the
bounds.
most important thing we do, though, besides getting everybody back together,
Yeah.
is donating money to the Surfside Volunteer Fire Department
That's important.
because they need it.
And my take on the thing is it's not just a celebration and gloom and doom all the people that we've lost to cancers and deaths and this, that, and the other. It's about surfers, yes, that have passed, men and women, boys and girls that have passed, but it's really more of a celebration of the ones that are still here is what I find when I go there. You just it's kind of like the surf museum vibe. You just don't know who you're going to run into. It could be like the guy you looked up to your whole life. Oh wow.
Yeah, I
Kinda
would
cool,
say
man.
I would say that that's the thing too. Is like it's it is still a celebration of the people we lost, right? We're
Sure,
still there to
sure.
celebrate them and everything. But I think
Right.
it's definitely become it is a reunion for sure.
Definitely.
So definitely think of it as a reunion with a memorial. Where we celebrate the lives of the other surfers Texas surfers we lost.
It is so.
But yeah, so it's coming up
Old
in
guy, what give me the date.
October. Let me get the date. here
Let's
real
be
quick.
sure because this is the Old Guy Surf Reunion. Definitely come out, man, because there's, there's tents and exhibits, and it's just there's food and just the camaraderie is just great, man. I love it. I don't miss it, man.
All right, so OGSR Saturday, October 4th, Stallman Park.
Be there, man.
So it's going to be an all-day event, free food trucks, raffles,
Wow, man.
win a surfboard. The shirts, we're working on the design right now. The shirts are going
Nice.
to be really cool. So we're going to have a little
Nice, man.
we're going to have a little Texas flair to them. So
Nice,
All right.
man. Nice, man.
that's all I'm giving you.
That's it. Okay, man. We're moving on, man. So, we love to surf and we love surfboards, and we like myself. I'm very hard on surfboards. I'm the ding king. I can ding anything. I can even ding a Tough Light. It's craziness. So, man,
That is true. That is true. It was
true.
Yeah.
On our secret mission, he saw my Tough Light, and it was just dinged everywhere. Anyway, so we're going to talk about board repair, ding repair, and that kind of thing. And it's a touchy subject because, and here's why I think it's a touchy subject, because people want their ding repaired yesterday.
People usually want their board back pretty soon,
Right,
And
right.
I would say that just to start off with, I would say that when
Yeah.
you as a surfer, just as a surfer, before I even knew how to build surfboards or knew how to do a lot of things, I learned how to fix my dings because I was a kid and I didn't have any money, and I
Right.
dinged my board, and
Right.
I just had to learn how to fix them. And so I think that it's a really good thing to be able to do, to fix your surfboard yourself, to be able to do it. I'm not saying that everybody has to be a ding repair master.
No,
right? No,
no.
It doesn't. Everybody's ding doesn't have to look perfect. But I think that we were kind of discussing some stuff the other day, and we were talking about if you ride a mountain bike,
Yeah.
and you're doing stuff,
They need tune-ups and
you
repairs.
probably work on your mountain bike, right?
Yeah.
If you're a skateboarder, I don't know any skateboarder out there that doesn't change their wheels, that doesn't change their grip tape,
Right.
that doesn't do all that stuff. So I would say that it's important for anybody who surfs and it's going to surf a board that's a fiberglass board, it's not a soft top, to know how to do your repairs, just because you could be anywhere. And then, some people have the luxury where they're not really worried about the money, right? They can do it, so they can just send it off to get fixed.
Right.
And that's okay.
And therein lies the problem.
I think sometimes therein lies the problem because, maybe maybe you're somewhere and you don't have somebody to pay to get it fixed, and maybe you see to fix it real quick, and it's kind of nice to be able to do that.
Well, let me ask you this, and correct me if I'm wrong. And I've been to the big surfboard factories in California. Lived out there a long time. In the hierarchy, the shaper is always the Zen guru. He's the guy. The glasser and the sander and this, that, and the other. And like the guy that's doing the repairs and the dings is kind of either the up and coming guy. It's the least sought after job, I would suspect, in the surfboard business. Am I even close?
I would say that, like, if you're at a certain point in the surfboard business,
Right.
maybe you don't want to do repairs, because you're doing other things. I think that there is repair guys are important, and it's important in places where it's a high demand to have someone to do repairs.
Right.
But it's just funny you said that, because a lot of people come in the shop and they want to learn, and the first thing they say is, "Man, I always wanted to learn how to shape a surfboard." And they say that because the shapers, we get all the glory because our name's on the board,
Right.
and people think we did
The
all the magic.
quarterback.
Yeah, and that's not always true, because the glasser, the glasser does most of the hard work, or majority of the hard work.
No kidding.
And then the sander, and if they're the same person, they do all the hard work, and they make the board look pretty. They make it last long.
Yeah.
They make everything. They do everything. The shaper, we pretty much make it, ride good if the glasser is good.
Right.
If the glasser is bad, it doesn't matter how we shaped it. So a lot of times I tell people, I'm like, hey, don't learn to shape. Don't learn to do ding repair. Don't learn to glass. Don't learn to do ding repairs.
Right.
If you start off and you do
Yeah.
ding repairs,
That makes
and
sense,
and
though.
you get good at it,
it does.
be able to take a board that has a chunk out of the rail, put a piece of foam in there, reshape
Glass it.
it, glass it, paint it, all that, make it look perfect. Because you never know, you're going to get somebody who wants their ding repair done perfect.
Yeah, and it's true. And let's face it, in Texas, it's a smaller market. In California, Florida, and East Coast, places of that nature, Australia, there's surf shops everywhere, and the ding repair is a legitimate and a big business. Here, it seems to be a little bit more difficult to navigate, and it's no fault of the surf shop owner and the people that are in the industry and the business. But you want to know what the old interweb says about it?
What is Google? What does Google say?
Well, this was actually ChatGPT.
Okay, what do they say?
Man, it says just the cost of the repair and the time was pretty interesting. A small surface ding, crack or chip, 1 to 2 days. A medium ding, rail, a deeper crack, 2 to 4 days. Larger ding or a D-lam, 4 to 7. Fin box and a tail repair, 3 to 6. If you're waterlogged, 5 to 10. And I'm thinking, it's not Circle K, man. We're just not rolling in and out here in Texas. Maybe that's the national.
I would say
average.
that's fair. I would say that's fair time if that's your
Is it
job.
really?
If that's your job. If that's your job. If that's all you do.
If that's, I understand.
If
what
that's
you're
all
saying.
you do
I
and
understand
do
what you're
ding
saying.
repairs,
Right.
that's a fair time.
Right.
One of the things that I think people run into, so I'll be your guest for a minute instead of just the
Please.
the host. I'll say this,
Please do.
so you have different kind of surf shops, right? You have different kind of surf shops. You
Right,
have some
right.
surf shops that are mostly shops that sell merchandise and boards, and they don't have
Right.
a factory there,
Understood.
right?
Understood.
And so, maybe they have a guy in the back that does some dings,
Right.
Right, and that usually is more likely. Then you have some shops like the surf station, where we have a factory there, right?
Right.
We build surfboards. I own Psycho Surf Industries, and that is beyond everything, that was my number one thing. So, when you're building new boards and you're doing dings, what you run into is new boards are super clean. You can't have any dirt, any whack, anything near them. Everything has to be perfectly clean. But when you're doing repairs, everything's dirty and has wax on it, and it's been in a bag, and and it might have some mold or some dirt and everything. So you're putting that on the racks. So what you have is,
So it's not very well sought after by people.
I would say that it kind of gets in the way. And then, maybe I'm working on your board to build it.
Right.
And then you come by and you say, hey, man, I'm waiting for my new board, to get done. And I say, well, I've been working on it, but I had to work on these 3 repairs over here for this guy because he's going out of town. Now everybody's mad, right? Because the guys didn't get his repair quick, and then the guy who's getting his board. So I would say that in some cases, in our case, our main focus is to have a great surf shop for everybody to buy
Yeah.
all their stuff they need,
Yep.
and to have a super high quality factory to build the best possible surfboards we can build. And
Yeah.
I think Ding
Yeah.
Repair became kind of like, you hate to tell people no to fix their board,
Right.
right. But I think at some point, it gets in the way of production. And I will say, myself, KP, Dougie, we're all board builders.
Yeah.
And we take pride in being board builders, not
Yeah.
just, glassers or fin guys or shapers. And so Ding Repair is like almost, even though people are paying us, and paying us good, it becomes somewhat of a favor.
Well, I don't know. I kind of challenge that paying you good, because I'm going to tell you what the old internet said. It seems cheap to me. And you gave the audience very good advice. I think, especially in Texas, not being surf shop in every corner, is to be able to do your own small repairs, and to learn what kind of board you got. And we're going to touch on that too, and what materials you use in little repair kits and stuff. Sure, you got a major repair, you snap your nose off, you probably need the professionals. But I think it is good advice to learn the little things, to speed your time up to get back into the water. But here's what the old interweb says. And like a small ding or crack, 25 to 40 bucks.
I would say 25 was 1995.
That's what I'm thinking. And then
You
a
know-
medium ding, 40 to 70. Large ding, 70 to 120. Fin box, 60 to 120. I can't imagine anybody doing something for $40.
I would say
I'm sorry.
the minimum.
That's gotta be wrong,
I would
dude.
say the minimum ding is probably about 40 or 50 bucks, and that's like a little small. If you can.
Okay.
Now I'll tell you this: if it's poly,
Okay,
if
that
it's,
makes a
if it's-
difference
If it's
in the ding
EPS,
repair.
if it's EPS, it's going to take me twice as long. So that's
Right.
That's a lot of times, and see that becomes a problem too. Is, if really, it should probably time and materials wise, quality. Yeah, a small ding should probably, $50, $65,
Yeah.
And, but I would say this, I don't know. I just like being able to fix anything myself too. If I have to, I don't want to go be a mechanic, but I like to be able to fix something if I need to.
But it's weird. I think it's a bargain. I think that this possible scale could be off.
I think the lower half is totally off. The upper half is probably close.
Because I had an opportunity to see you guys work and hang around here a little bit, and just the work that goes into making a ding look nice. And me personally, if I come in and I want a ding repair, man, I don't want the color to match. I couldn't give a squat. You know what I want? I want it to be watertight.
Yeah, but some people, they want it perfect.
I know. So to some people, let me ask this question. It's a dumb question of the day, but I get to ask it. Do people ever get mad at you for either A, not getting it to them in a prompt manner, or didn't come out how they liked because it's tedious?
Only A.
Okay.
Never B, ever.
There you go.
So,
I don't think it's unusual. It's a
I wouldn't
small-
say anybody ever got mad, but sometimes people try to pressure you a little bit. But we're not.
Yeah.
We don't. That doesn't work well here.
Yes.
But anyways, I would say that the thing about dings, I think people have probably tried to do a lot of their own dings before, and I think that maybe they failed. Right, and so then they just got to give up.
Okay.
Really, and so
It's not easy.
I think that, a lot of times it's a lot of other things. You tried to do something, you failed miserably, and you're thinking, man, I can't do it. I kind of think if we could just, give you a few pointers. And I mean, YouTube's great and everything, but maybe not every YouTube video is right. You know what I'm saying? You go check on a YouTube video and you might have got the wrong YouTube video. So I think the number one thing that people do wrong when they're, well, I don't know. The number one thing besides using the wrong material, the number one thing they do is they don't sand the ding good enough. So you don't.
Prep work.
If you don't sand,
it looks like a lot of work just to do that to me from what I've observed back here.
Yeah. So you got to make sure you sand your ding well, so whatever you put on top of it's going to stick. So that's the one thing is people don't do that. So you got to start with a good prep work.
It just seems like a lot of work for anything under $100 for the craftsmanship and the work that goes into it.
Well, I would say the best thing to do probably is if you get a bad ding, you should probably just come order a new board.
And isn't that the reason it kind of spawned the Tough Light market isn't that kind of what it's all about? I got Tough Lights. I got
Hey,
regular
look,
poly boards. Like,
I'm never gonna, tell somebody to go buy a board from overseas and always support your
Right.
local shaper. But I'm not gonna say Tough Lights don't have their place in surfing. They are they're tough. I mean, now they're kind of, they're kind of like a M&M, right? Because they have a really hard outer shell,
yeah.
but they're super soft on the inside.
Very, very
You know,
good analogy.
They're hard to repair sometimes because their foam is so light. It's not even 2-pound foam density.
Right.
So sometimes a
Gotcha.
lot of people burn their foam.
Well, you want to know what the old interweb says? Again, where would I go to get my ding or surfboard repaired done near me? You know where they sent me? The Surf House. God bless them. Ohana Surf and Skate, which is in Galveston and Southern Spears. You didn't make the top 3. I don't think. I don't think it hurt your feelings.
Our feelings are we're sad. So I would say that just having some sun cure, just being able
Well,
to
that's
fix,
what I want you to tell me about.
just
Explain
being
to me.
able to
So,
fix. You don't even have to be.
what's available to me to become my own little ding dude,
There's a couple things.
like David Grierson, the ding dude. That's who we got to get on here.
Man, see, that's the guy. who
That's the
does-
guy,
and
David
that's-
Grierson,
and that's what he does. He's an expert. He is an expert ding repair.
That guy's a
But-
master.
But he can also do other. He can build a board. Dave. But he's an expert ding repair guy, and
Yep.
he can color match like crazy or anything like that. So now, I'll say this. Okay. We went over it before about poly and epoxy, right?
Yeah.
You got
Yep,
polyester
yep,
resin,
yep.
epoxy. If your board is EPS, expanded polystyrene, if it's an epoxy board,
Yeah. What do I need to repair that ding?
always you only want epoxy. And
Only
that's
epoxy
that's
repair
resin.
ding kit.
Yep. Anything that says epoxy. You
What
don't
do I
wanna use
get in my kit, and how much does it cost me?
Well, if you just buy some solar res, it just comes in a tube. It already has fiber in it, in the resin,
Okay.
and it has a little sanding block.
Okay.
So let's say you got a
Solar
ding
res.
on your rail,
Right.
right? Little ding. Clean off your wax real good,
Okay.
right? First thing you want to start to do is clean off your wax real good. And let's say your ding is the size of let's just say it's the size of a dime. Little bitty ding, right? I want to clean off about that big around.
Really?
I want to clean off all the way around that little ding, right? No wax around it.
With you?
A lot of times we'll take some, acetone or, something like that. Maybe not something as heavy, and just wipe it all off right there. Mineral spirits gets wax off real good. All right. So you just want to clean that area real good. And then you want to take 80 grit sandpaper. You're going to do a ding here. Okay. You're not trying to polish anything. So you want to take some 80 grit. Now your solar res is going to come with a little pad,
The little sandpaper pen
Yep.
thing?
and it's got I think it's probably got 80 grit on one side,
Right.
and maybe 120 or something like that on the other. So you're going to take your heavier side, your heavier grit, and you're going to sand
Okay.
right where that ding is.
How far around the boo-boo do I sand?
Well, we want to sand around the ding a little bit,
Okay.
but we want to sand
Okay.
in it real good, right? So we want to sand
Okay.
right in the edge
Okay.
right there. And then right now we're just trying to fill it.
Right.
We're just trying to fill the ding.
Right.
We're going to get back in the water real quick.
Exactly.
So we're going to sand right around the edge, right in there. Take the tip. You might even take, if you have some sandpaper or if you got your thing, you're going to take the tip and then get right in the edge real quick.
Right.
Sometimes we take a razor blade, make sure we scratch all the shiny off of it.
I see.
If maybe your ding's in a little bit, I want you to scratch all the shiny off of it. You
Okay.
don't want any shiny in there.
Gotcha.
Then you're going to blow it off really good, wipe it off, whatever you have to do. Make sure there's no dust left on it. That's when you're going to take your solar res, which you're going to be in the shade, right? You have to be in the shade somewhere. I like to take a toothpick or a popsicle stick or something like that, a little bit of solar res, and just dab it.
It's pre-mixed in the tube.
Pre-mixed in the tube.
Okay,
All you got to do
pre-mixed
is
in the tube.
squirt it out. And don't be in
Okay.
the sun, though. You can't be in the sun.
Not in the sun.
Take a little bit, just dab it on your ding.
Dab it on your ding.
Dab it on the ding, right? And then right there, you're just going to fill it up. Now, take it out in the sun. It's gonna catalyze it, right? The
Okay.
sun is gonna catalyze it.
I'm with you.
You're gonna bring it back in the shade
Okay.
after it gets hard, and then you're gonna sand it down.
Sand it down.
right? Because it's going to be a little bit sharp, right? So you're going to sand it down a little
Right,
bit.
little rough edges. You're
If
gonna
it's-
sand those out.
If it's low, you can fill it again. Do the same thing, right? And
Okay.
so that's just a quick fix ding repair.
And that's your Solar Res repair kit. And that's for a poly board.
That poly or epoxy, the same process.
Okay, that does the poly or epoxy.
Yep, it doesn't matter.
Why
the
did I
process
melt
is,
that board in Baja that time?
The process is going to be because you can use epoxy sun cure on either board, but you can't use poly sun cure on an epoxy board. So if you
no,
just
wait. Say that one more time. From a slow learner.
epoxy resin
Okay.
can be used on either foam.
Okay.
Polyester resin can only be used on polyurethane foam.
Okay.
So if you're using, if the best thing to do is, if you don't know or you have multiple boards, is take some epoxy Solar Res with you. There's two brands. There's Solar Res and there's Sun
And
Cure.
that'll cover both
That'll cover both.
types of boards.
Right, right. So the
Okay.
best thing to do, if
Okay.
you don't know any better, or you have multiple boards, get the epoxy. Now,
Yeah.
that's a quick fix ding. And let me tell you, if you sand that ding good,
All right,
and you
right.
blow off all the dust, and you're going to get a good bond, and that stuff's
Right.
not going to fall out. Now,
Right.
what a ding repair person does, or what would do, is, of course, we can make our own sun cure. We have powder,
Right.
powder that we can mix in the resin,
Right.
and it makes it go off, right? So, or we can use pre-mixed filler. There's all kinds of ways, but we're gonna fill it just like that. We're gonna sand it down. We're gonna make it perfect, right, around the rail. Then we're gonna take a piece of cloth, 2 pieces actually on a ding, and you're gonna put your cloth over the ding, right? So what happens a lot of times, if you put that ding in there with sun cure, and over time that resin might fall out over
Yeah,
getting hit a bunch.
Like a cavity will crack
Yeah,
and
it'll
fall
just
out. I've
crack
had it
and
happen.
fall out, right.
So,
So-
at what point do you use cloth? At what size? That was always a mystery to me.
Really if it's for a ding to be done correctly, you always use cloth.
Yeah.
Now if you're just going to do it to get back in the water, you're
But
just
not
using
your
some cure.
DIY, right?
I mean, I think it'd be good for people to learn how to do that. Once you get into that process, you're going to have to, lay 2
Right.
pieces of cloth on your ding, 2
Yeah.
small pieces, and then you're going to let that dry,
Yeah.
and then you're going to sand that cloth a little bit, right?
Right.
Just lightly sand that cloth
You go back over
because
it
you're going to
again.
fair the edges of it,
Yes.
right?
But
And
don't
then
you
you're-
gotta put a
and
gloss
then you
coat
gotta-
on
Then
it?
you got to put a hot coat on it,
Oh.
and you got to let that dry.
That don't come with these little kits.
But that don't. Well, we sell it.
I got you.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can sell all the
I'm with you.
materials you need to fix your board. We'll sell it to you.
Right.
So-
but I can get the little repair kit here.
Yeah. So, but once you do your hot coat,
Okay.
you got to let that dry,
Lord.
and then you got to sand
It's
it.
a lot.
But then after you sand that, then you got to do your gloss coat,
To make it, yes.
and then
Like-
and then after you sand that, then you got to polish it
right.
to make it shiny like the rest of the board.
That's like
For
the
a
whole
s-
process of
for
the
a-
surfboard make.
It's exactly the same process of surfboard making.
On
I
a
would
little
say.
bitty on a ding.
I would say one of the, and also, so if there's a ding, I always use 2 pieces of cloth,
Right.
and we'll put a lot of people would think that you put the big piece down and then the little piece, but it's the opposite.
really.
So you
really?
put the,
okay.
so you put, that's what a lot of people think. So you put the little piece down and then you put the big piece,
on top of it.
yep, on top of it.
Right. So what does this Solar Res set a feller back?
The Solar Res is about $15, $17 for a tube, something like that.
That's really inexpensive. It comes with a little sandpaper.
You could
and all
fix
that.
a lot of dings. And now somebody pointed this out to me the other day. It was pretty funny. On the back of the Solar Res thing, it shows you like fixing a whole broken Solar Res.
Putting a nose
It
back
shows
on.
you fixing the whole nose or doing like a whole. I'm not going to say you can't do that because you could, but that's not exactly what it's for.
Right.
But it's definitely good to fix dings. So,
It's on the fly. Right. I
yeah.
get you.
And so, that's the thing to do is get your dings fixed yourself, and then that way you don't have to depend on waiting on your dings.
And that's my plan. I'm going to get this kit. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to fix a couple things because it's nothing against the surf shop and surf shop owners, but they're busy and they're doing
And,
more production type stuff. So I'm going to get at least moderately efficient at doing
And then
this
you get
myself.
like fin boxes broken and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's,
Takes a pro.
it's quite a bit of work to do. So, hey, if there's somebody out there and you get good at it, and you get good at it, then you can start doing ding repairs. you
Yeah,
know
and
what I'm
just to
saying?
flip back, David Grierson, man, God bless you, brother. Get well soon. He flipped his golf cart down in Costa Rica, and
He's on the men though, isn't
he's
he?
definitely on the men, man.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's a guy that said, or it's weird, like, what a rare breed, man. If you could find these guys, think about it. This is the guy that said, I'm not really want to make boards. I don't want glass boards. I want to be an expert at ding repair. And
He is really great.
So
at
sought out. He
color
is
matching, man. He is,
unbelievable. He is like the ding dude.
and that's the other
expert,
thing is
man.
too is like color matching. A lot of times people ask you to match
Miss
color,
my bro, David,
and
man.
it's hard to matching color. It's not always the easiest thing.
Man, if you could find those kind of guys around that are willing to do that kind of detail work and stuff, man, they'd be just so valuable.
I think
man.
I think the best thing that KP likes mostly is if someone when we get asked to if we could reglass a board.
What the heck is that?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm not sure yet. I haven't figured it out. But
Oh, well.
yeah. So anyway, so I think that
Reglass.
I think a lot of times, because people don't really know the process, or they think you could just like take a board and just reglass it, but you don't understand. And there are guys out there that do repairs. Like, I'll tell you this, like Avilio. Avilio does amazing.
He's a restoration
He does
guy.
amazing work. It's
Boy, does he ever.
And but I would say a lot of people come to him because they
true,
want
man.
a board to hang up, and they want it redone, and it's just this color work is fabulous.
And nothing against him, man. He is a master. If you want a board restored, you want to hang it in your living room, go to that guy, no doubt about it. But if you want to get a board restored that you want to ride again, you need a different type of a surfboard
It's a different. Yeah, you don't want to do a lot of
because it came back heavy.
they're well, you can't. You have to if you're going to make the board. If you're going to make a board that pretty again, you're going to have to reglass it, and that's what a lot of times people want.
Spectacular work, but heavy.
Right. So what we want to do is we want to build surfboards for you.
Yeah.
And then, hey, that's and if anybody wants to,
And you're hiring a ding repair guy, right? You just look. We're putting an ad.
yeah,
out.
off location, wherever they want. No. So I would say the best thing to do is, don't try not to ding your board, but when you ding it, fix it. Try to learn how to fix it. I think it just seems very intimidating a lot of times because, one, you have a really expensive, piece of equipment that you don't want to,
Right,
you're kind of
right.
like, oh man, I don't know what to do with it. And I would say that a lot of people have probably burned the foam. So if a little bit of advice on mixing resin or if you're trying to fix a hole in a board.
Okay.
So as a professional, what we would do is we would cut out the foam and glue a piece of foam in and then glass over it, right?
Right.
And then cut it down. When you pour a bunch of resin into a hole, the resin, the more resin in one contained area, the resin gets hot. So if I have resin in this cup, and it's this much resin in here, and it's all the way here, and it's in that cup, and it stays in that cup, it's going to get super hot, smoking. It's going to bubble over, and it's going to get real hot. But if I took that same amount of resin and I poured it all over the surfboard,
Because it's dispersed throughout.
It's dispersed throughout.
Oh, I got
It's
you.
going to take so much longer time to cure, and it's not going to get hot. And so what happens is people do it.
Interesting.
People have like a ding, and maybe it's a quarter inch or a half inch deep, and maybe it's, I don't know, a couple inches wide.
Okay.
And they'll pour a bunch of resin in there, and maybe they'll
Done
mix
it myself.
They'll mix some stuff called Cabasil or micro balloons, and they'll mix that stuff in there and they'll pour it. And man, it'll get hot and it'll just melt, and the stuff will get so
Right.
hard and it'll get brittle, and that's because you used too much at one time. So if you are maybe and there's times where you don't have any foam around, you got to fill the hole, right?
Right.
Layers.
Now, I did a little ding repair some years back, and it turned brown on me. So what did I do wrong?
The resin got hot.
It got hot. I'd used too much catalyst.
Yeah, you were using poly.
Yeah.
You used that. Yeah, so it got hot. I mean,
I'm not good at it, but I don't even need to be that good at it. I just want it to be watertight. It sounds like to me. I'm going to do what I can. If I break a board, I'll just buy a new one. It's such a double-edged sword because we pay so doggone much for these new surfboards nowadays. You get a ding, now you think, well, if I get it professionally repaired, it's going to preserve the value and the life and on. So we panic and come run, try to chase you down or someone else.
I would say this too.
It's tough, man.
And I say this. I've said this to some people, and so I think ding repairs are different in different parts of the country and
Oh, yeah.
country and world.
Market based,
Okay,
no doubt.
so some places, and I would say it's most places that there's more surf all the time.
Correct.
A lot of those
Yep.
guys, when they go to get a ding repair, man, they just want it done, like good to where it's stuck, but it's just fast, right? It's not like it's not pretty,
Yeah.
and that's because they want to get back in the water real quick, right? They're like, man,
That's the goal.
it's going off tomorrow, and I need to get back in the water, and you really don't even have time. It can be a fair job, but you really, as a ding repair guy, he probably didn't even have time to do a perfect job. But it's nice, right?
Right.
But they don't care. And I see a lot of people who are used to that, and they're like, that's what a ding repair looks like, right?
Yeah.
And that's prominent in places where a lot of places where boards are kind of disposable too,
Right.
right?
Right.
More short boards, more disposable
Yeah.
boards, more surf. But in
Right.
Texas, I believe that we have these long stretches of no waves sometimes.
No,
and
man.
people
Come on.
And what
Come on,
when I
man.
tell people sometimes my saying was, in other places they want their board back to surf because they're surfing all the time. In Texas, people they stare at their board more.
Yeah.
Because they're sometimes
yeah.
not surf.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
so
more they're
true,
staring
man.
at their board,
Yeah.
and so they want it to be perfect. Every ding repaired perfect. Now, I don't know how to do a ding repair not perfect in my opinion. Like it's going to be perfect. I'm not saying my color match is going to be perfect,
Right.
but I'm saying like as far as the feel goes, besides having a little bump because you put something on top of something,
Sure,
you know,
sure. I understand.
fair and smooth and everything like that, and so you have people who come in and they say, hey man, I don't need this done. It doesn't have to look good. I just need it watertight. And,
Right.
And I'm like,
That's me.
but somebody else is going to see it. And so I can't just
I got you.
I can't just do a crappy job, right?
Understood. You got
know,
a little pride in
you
your
know-
craftsmanship, and you don't want to just put out a
Right, and so
crappy
you
product.
can't do
I
it
get
super fast.
you know?
And then also you have on the other end of the spectrum
Yeah.
someone who says, "Hey, I need this board to be exactly perfect, the color match and everything."
Yep.
And then you can't, and that's hard to do too. So the best thing to do is again, if you get a ding, and it's got a little water in it, just come. We'll build you a new board. Just come
Well,
order a
yes,
new board.
It's so funny you should say that because that's me, man. I just am tough on them. I ding them. I destroy them. I throw them in. I try to take care of them. I've tried the whole board bag thing. Eventually, I'm not putting them in the board bag.
Speaking of board bags, we got some good ones in the shop right now.
Could come down and get one, man.
Selfless plug. We got some nice
No,
board bags.
listen, here at the surf station, you can get everything from a fin screw to a 10-2 at this
And,
beautiful
and,
surf
and right
station.
now we got a
Unbelievable,
surfboard
man.
bag for a 10 too.
Surfboard bag for a 10-2, man. Come on down and get that thing, man, for sure. But, I'm so hard on boards, and I think what I do, and I'm embarrassed to just tell you I have some Gorilla Tape on my Walden and a couple of places, little black Gorilla Tape, because I'm kind of to the point, I guess, in my life, and I ride the board till it's destroyed, then it goes into the rental pool, and then I buy another one. And believe me, I'm not rich, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, but that's me. That's been my cycle. I ride them until they're dead, and then I just get a new one. I'm not saying that's the right way to go. I think to preserve the life of a board, this is the way to go with your solar res and do some repairs yourself.
Yeah, man, just get the board watertight. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're not in a show contest. I mean, if it's really sentimental to you and you really,
Right.
there's people out there that are going to do them. But I would say, it's very important, just like any other hobby you have, riding motocross, dirt bike, skateboarding, skiing. Every skier I know knows their equipment like crazy.
100%.
So I just think that
Yep.
surfers should kind of, hey,
It's true.
let's know a little bit more about our fins and
Yep.
ding repairs and all that good stuff, and be nice. So
Yeah, so don't come and get mad at your local surf shop guys just because they can't get your ding out by tomorrow at noon, because it is what
yeah,
it is.
it won't do
Oh,
any
we'll
good.
send- we'll
it won't
send-
do any good anyways.
No, we'll send the surf side to Huey on you. So.
Well, man, it seems like we've gone.
Kidding.
And speaking of ding repairs, we went a little long, and we got our guy back there
Oh,
in
we
the
did.
back doing ding repairs. So apologies to Matthew McConaughey. We ran out of time again.
He's
And,
learning ding repairs in the back, man. You gotta love that.
We'll
man.
have him out there. He'll be doing California quality.
Yeah, man, he's a little apprentice, man. Sorry, Matt. Get you
All right.
next time, brother.
Have a
Love
good
you
one.
guys.
Peace
Peace
out.
out, man. Awesome.